Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric and Chad here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today we got a top 5 video for you. We're going to be talking about the top 5 guns for killing zombies, zombie killing guns. You know, you guys are probably familiar with The Walking Dead. It's a pretty popular TV show. It is a post-apocalyptic zombie thriller, so to speak, and there's a lot of things that go into killing walkers or zombies, whatever you want to call it, that kind of come into play, and there's certain guns that lend themselves quite well for that. In the show, they use a wide variety of different cutlery, sometimes including bayonets and things of that nature. Certain firearms, lots of improvised weapons, and in some cases, just good old-fashioned firepower. So when it comes to hunting walkers, if you were in The Walking Dead and you wanted to have some type of gun for hunting walkers, what would be the most important aspect of hunting zombies?
Being very, very quiet.
Being quiet.
That's why I like Daryl and his crossbow.
Yeah, a big deal is stealth. And later on in the show, as they learn, the group learns as they go along that stealth is very, very important to not attracting more walkers into their vicinity.
Or other people.
Or other people, yeah. And exactly. Later on in the show, they find out in this zombie apocalypse here that other humans are just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than the walkers in the show. So they need to be able to defend themselves against human threats and against the threats of the walkers in the show. So let's kind of go down the line here, starting with what I think would be just about the ideal zombie gun.
Okay, so we did a video on this thing recently. This is it's a CMMG 22 long rifle kit that they sell. It comes with a bolt and a barrel. This barrel is 4.5 inches long. I've got a Liberty regulator tucked under the rail here, and this thing will take 50-round Black Dog machine drum magazines. This is 22. So, I mean, 22, it's been known for a long time in like the movies and stuff to be like a good assassin's tool and such, And,
yeah.
I mean, to down the zombie, what do? You shoot him in the head.
Right.
You turn the brain off.
Oh, yeah, and the zombies always, of course they have like really soft skulls. You ever notice like they punch them or they do something, or they kick them and their skull just crushes? And everything.
It caves in. Milkers are kind of mushy. They're barely held together.
Yeah, they're kind of dead, right? Yeah,
undead. This thing right here, I mean, little Trijicon Mini ACOG on top of here, and you got a light. Okay, so if you're having to, take them out in the evening or something like that, or at night, you can see what you're working with. Man, this thing runs like a champ. And I've run this thing on an M16 lower a few times, which would probably be a considerable waste of ammunition in the zombie apocalypse. Yep. However, it is immensely fun. It's ridiculous fun, actually.
Well, it would be really handy against human threats.
It would be.
That's the thing. Stealth is very important when you're hunting zombies. So the thing about this little gun that I think is just absolutely awesome is the fact that it's really compact, it's lightweight, and there's been times where I've been watching the show, and from a military perspective, or just looking at things from what soldiers would do, or how you would handle like setting up an ambush or dealing with being ambushed by other people in that type of situation, a gun like this could be really handy. I mean, situations in the show where I see like hundreds of walkers all over the place and everybody's panicking. Like, oh man, what are we going to do about all these walkers? Well, all you need is about 5 people armed with these with 50-round drums and just sit there and just take them out. Just tick, 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 tick. And you're not going to attract any more walkers. It's nice and quiet. I mean, this is a walker eradication device. This needs to be in the show. Why isn't this in the dang show?
They haven't called me yet.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that really, in my opinion, is one of the most ideal type firearms for eradicating zombies if you just can hit them in the head. What about handguns?
Well, for close range zombie eradication.
Super close range.
And you want to keep it stealthy. We've got an M&P 22 compact here with an AAC Element 2 suppressor on here with a little Surefire XC1 light. So this is just a little compact, like 200 lumen light. So, you want to have a light on there because you want to see what's going on at night.
That's right.
You hear something rustling around in the bushes and it's not a chipmunk. You hear it go.
Yeah, you got to make sure it's not a walker.
But anyways, these guns are just so fun. I picked one of these up a while back, and then Eric bought one, and then he had to buy Brandy one. So we've got 3 of these guns between us. And if you guys remember the video we did on this gun, Eric was like double fisting 2 of them. And that crap is just ridiculous. But this would be a perfect little sidearm. It's stealthy. The barrel's so short that it keeps like full velocity ammo, pretty much subsonic all the time.
Yep.
Just a great.
You can carry a lot of 22 ammunition. That's one of the other pluses to these 2 guns that we've talked about so far. you can carry so much 22 ammunition. And think about it. If you're a post-apocalyptic zombie hunter and you're looking around in some burned out building, you're trying to find ammo, or you're looking in cars, in a lot of cases in the show, our team is walking around and trying to scavenge things. They're looking through satchels on the side of the road, they're looking through vehicles, through buildings, and they're trying to find resources: food, medicine, water, ammunition, guns, things like that. There's a strong chance if you find a box 22 ammo, it's probably going to be a brick or a large quantity. You can make a large quantity of ammunition go a longer way with a 22.
You certainly can.
That's one thing about the show that's disappointed me a little bit, is the lack of 22s.
Well, I mean,
you would think that'd be a very common gun laying around.
You would think so, but probably because it's not Hollywood enough. It doesn't have as much flair as like a Colt Python. That's why we don't have a revolver on the table, because this is kind of what we think would be practical for zombie eradication.
That's right.
Not just going bang in the middle of the woods and attracting zombies for miles around,
Yeah, but sometimes, though, you just got to lay down the law, and the Colt Python definitely can do that.
I think I'd rather have something bigger.
Again, threats are not always the undead. It can also be other human threats that you have to deal with, and sometimes certain guns are better for that.
I think I'd still rather deal with it quietly.
So moving up with the 9mm here, we got the SP01, this is the Irving Gray CZ. Man, what an awesome gun.
So you guys have seen this in a video. I picked one of these up, and then Eric finally found one. So I've got this one outfitted pretty much the same way that we had in the video with my Griffin Revolution 9 in the short K configuration. But I added a Surefire X400V, which is a white light here, and then you've twist it and you've got an IR illuminator and you have an IR laser for night vision use. So you can run a bump helmet with a PVS-14, and if you're guarding the campsite or whatever, you're guarding the compound at night, you've got a way to kind of scope around, and this thing with 9mm subs is exceptionally quiet.
Oh yeah.
And that laser is just dead on the money.
That's just a great handgun right there. That goes without saying. We are going to be moving on to another 9 in a minute, but having a handgun and 9mm that's suppressed is excellent. There's nothing wrong with that. Very stealthy firearm. Moving down the line, all right, so we're talking about an AR here that this configuration is not too much unlike some of the ones that you've seen in the show probably. That is one thing about the show I agree with, is that there will be ARs everywhere, okay? There's so many ARs laying around that it would be very common to find an AR laying around in a zombie apocalypse.
Oh, no
This
doubt.
is pretty much the ideal one that you'd want to have, though. This got an M4 2000 suppressor from AAC on it, excellent. We've got an Atlas bipod and a LaRue mount holding it on to our little rail section up there. We got a Geisley rail. We've got an X Products 50-round drum, Mag Tactical lower, keeping it lightweight. We got one of these big old honking Trijicon ACOGs on top. And guys, I'm going to tell you what, if you're guarding a tower in the zombie apocalypse outside of your camp or whatever, this is definitely the gun you want to have. And for those long-range zombie engagements, it's definitely, this gun's got an 18-inch match-grade barrel in it, so it's really accurate. And this is a type of AR, you'll see configurations like this in the show that they'll be toting around and using to great effect.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, an AR is just such a versatile rifle. I mean, like Eric said, there'd be plenty of ARs laying around. There'll probably be plenty of AKs laying around too, but, AKs don't suppress as well as an AR.
No, they don't.
So.
I think suppressing is really where it's at. I know in the show early on, like there was some suppressor use going on, and then it kind of fell off the wayside and got, not quite as much. Realistically, you would want a suppressed firearm in a zombie fight. So this AR is killer and everything. We do have a gun here. This is the exact same model that Daryl used, when they were fighting inside the old satellite building. They were shooting at the what do they call it? The Saviors. When they were going after the Saviors in the old satellite building there. Old Daryl ditched his crossbow for a minute and broke out the M4 to clear that building.
I probably would have too.
This is the exact same type of shotgun that Daryl used in the show, except this is an actual law enforcement model. The gun that he uses in the show actually has the crimp magazine tube, so it won't hold full capacity. This is an 8-shot law enforcement M4. This is the real deal M4, which I'm surprised they didn't get one for the show. But this is the real deal.
Yeah, they're going for a certain look. So.
Exactly. But this is definitely, when it comes to clearing out buildings and going for those ultra close range zombie fights, when you might have to deal with some real life human zombies as well.
Okay, really any good 12 gauge shotgun, but I still kind of go back to the whole 22 thing, especially for the zombies. You know,
we have to agree with Daryl though. I mean, he knew he was going into a fight where he would have to fight humans. He didn't know if there'd be some walkers lurking about. He knew there'd be humans, and he chose the M4. I think that's a nice pick.
It's a pretty
nice
universal,
semi-automatic shotgun.
Pretty universal tool.
Yes, shotguns are extremely useful. And also think about it like this: if you're in the zombie apocalypse, whether it's, let's say it's walkers in The Walking Dead or whatever, any type of zombie situation, you still got to be able to survive. You still got to be able to shoot game. Fend yourself against bears if you're in bear country, kill deer to feed your camp and everything. So having a shotgun is a pretty important thing to have laying around. Very, very crucial element to the zombie survival kit. Okay. Last but not least, and of course we always have a wild card. This has been 5, but we actually have 2 wild cards. This is a CZ Scorpion. This is the Evo.
Is there a CZ Scorpion under all that?
Yes, there is. This is a pretty extreme Scorpion, all right? This one's set up as an SBR with the folding stock, but it's got an Armacite Predator on here, thermal optic. You've got a KM3 flashlight that goes wide and IR, okay? You've also got a Tyrant 9 on here on a tri-lug adapter, and this is just a stupid little sneaking around rig. Now, I don't imagine that walkers would give off any heat signature.
Yeah, I was going to say, a thermal wouldn't work for walkers, but it would work for people.
It wouldn't work for walkers, but if you're guarding a camp or something like that and you need to see if somebody's trying to sneak up on your camp, they can't hide from a thermal.
Nope.
I mean, any zombie hunter worth the salt's got to have him a thermal. They
might find some of those laying around nowadays. They're getting cheaper.
I don't know. I'm not sure that you're just going to find that laying around in a truck. I mean, I'm pretty sure the guys in the zombie apocalypse that have these probably are smart enough to live and keep up with them.
Probably.
Maybe. I'd like to think. Of course, that's coming from a guy that has one, so maybe I would survive. But you got 20 and 30 round magazines, 9mm, you shoot supers, subs. Again, kind of sticking with the whole stealth thing as being a pretty important element of surviving a zombie fight. Killing the zombies that are around you and not attracting more of them. That's the big thing with this video. The other wild card, I do have a recurve bow. I know Daryl in the show, he uses a crossbow. Okay, crossbows are great. There's nothing wrong with that. But the nice thing about a recurve is that it can be, with a bit of practice and everything, it can be fired pretty quickly, and with a reasonable amount of accuracy. You get a guy that knows what he's doing behind a recurve, and I'm definitely not that guy. I'm not an expert with a recurve.
I've seen you shoot.
However, a guy that knows what he's doing can definitely sling some arrows with a recurve pretty quick, and you're talking like the ultimate in quiet.
Well, what I find to be really interesting, like these recurves, they are immensely fun to shoot. They're immensely fun to learn on, and you can get them lightweight enough. We've hung out with Scott Moore with Whack Outdoors, and he's taught us quite a bit about archery and its whole, and it kind of got me interested in one of those 1022 kits. LaRue makes this arrow launcher for a 1022. It's just a barrel kit, and you drop it on your 1022, and you can shoot arrows out of it with blanks. Yep. How cool is that?
In the show, they also use every variety of random cutlery and stabbing devices that you can possibly think of. This meant I was trying to kind of focus on firearms and things that actually fling things and sling things, but cutlery obviously being a very important aspect. Many of the walkers that are taken out in The Walking Dead, many of them are dispatched with knives and various blunt objects.
I wouldn't want them that close to me though, but
no, you wouldn't want to. But sometimes, like when they're just walking around on the road, like, oh, there's a walker, stab. Like now, it's just so nonchalant because they're so used to killing walkers that it's just like, oh, it's just a chore. Like they give each other that look, like, yeah, I'll get him.
Oh, is it my turn?
It's my turn, and they just kill them, and that's done. So. Anyway, we like the show. We're fans of the show. I mean, they're great people. They seem like they have a lot of fun making the show.
Well, and it's filmed kind of in our neck of the woods, too.
It is. It's filmed very, very close to where we are right now. I'm not going to say where we are, but let's just say I could be there in 20 minutes.
If you guys haven't seen it, check out the 1 million subscriber video we did with Rob Boss.
Yeah,
from Tactical Walls.
If you're a Walking Dead fan and you know the locations that a lot of the areas of the show are filmed in, you'll really enjoy our 1 million subscriber video. It's really funny. I think it was funny.
I thought it was funny too. Some people didn't though.
Yeah, some people weren't enthused too much about it. Anyway, these are the guns you want in a zombie apocalypse. I hope you saw the humor in this video. We're trying to enjoy ourselves in this and have fun. I have to say, out of all the guns on this table, really that 22 on the end, that's the one you got to have. I mean, if you've got 20 dudes armed with one of these, and you know all of them suppressed and everything like that, especially if you're talking a select fire AR, dude, you can take care of business.
You know what's really cool? I've been trying to find one, but there's a company from a while back called Bazooka Brothers, and they make a feed tower that adapts to one of the AR-180, or the American 180 drums. And they've got like 165 round, like 200 and some odd.
Like a 240 or something?
And like a 260 or 265 or something, but it's got a feed tower, and you put that drum on there, and it sticks like this under the gun. But could you imagine having like 265 rounds at your disposal? I mean, that would just get old. It's like,
that's right.
This is the mag that never ends.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you what, you got to keep your wits about you in a zombie apocalypse. So these are only the tools. They don't substitute for training and smarts. You got to be street smart. You got to think like a walker.
I probably wouldn't survive.
You got to think of what they're going to do next. You got to stay one step ahead of them, literally. One creeping, slow step ahead of them.
They don't think, though, do they?
Do they think? Well, they still have, they still have brains until you take them out. They know they want to eat. You know, like they rip the jaws out and rip the arms off, and then they use them as pack mules.
Yeah.
You can make you a sleigh of walkers with like 20 walkers and have them like stick some raw meat out in front of them so they're going towards it, and then have them like pull in your...
I just have them carry all my 22 ammo.
You put 22 ammo in backpacks and make them carry them around for you. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate it. This has been Top 5 Guns for Zombie Apocalypse and for fighting zombies, walkers, what have you. Thanks for watching. We have many more of these videos on the way. And make sure you're checking out Walking Dead. They're a great bunch of guys. The show's excellent. And thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Take care, guys.